Welcome to your Thursday lunch break. I'm Tanya Rivero. SeaWorld, the water theme park company, will stop breeding killer whales and end theatrical shows featuring them as the company battles public scrutiny over treatment of its marine animals. Joining us with more details is Wall Street Journal reporter Austen Hufford. Hi, Austen. Great to see you here. Give us more details of what's behind this move and what will happen to the killer whales that are currently in captivity.
Yeah, so essentially what's happening here is they've been under a lot of pressure from animal rights activists over the last several years, ever since the release of this 2013 documentary. And they also said another trend is that millennials and younger patrons want to see more things that help them, not just vacations. They want to have vacations that have meaning.
Right.
And so they said combine those two trends, and now they're just going to keep the current animals they have, but not breed any new ones.
So what will happen to the female orcas? They will be given birth control?
Yeah, so they are saying immediately they're going to end artificial insemination, and they're also going to be given birth control to stop natural breeding.
And what sorts of interactions will there be for visitors to the park now with the orcas?
Yeah, so they said they're ending their theatrical shows, and instead they're going to have a more educational experience. They haven't detailed 100% what that's going to be like, but the company claims that this is going to encourage people to become more active and to help preserve animal welfare.
And they're saying this is the final generation of orcas that they will keep in captivity. So how long do orcas live? How much longer?
Right, so this is actually an interesting issue for scientists. We're not 100% sure. The company says that orcas live about 50 years, but there have been some examples in the wild of orcas living up to 90 years. And there's actually one right now of the 29 that they own. There's one that is pregnant. And so either way, they're going to have orcas for at least 30 or 40 years.
Possibly a century.
Possibly a century,
so
right.
What has been the response then from these animal rights groups that have pushed so hard for these orcas being released? Doesn't PETA still want the orcas to be released into the wild?
Yes, so PETA is very happy about this change, but they also say that they want the animals to be moved to sea pens, and they want them to look into releasing some of the orcas. The company actually partnered with the Humane Society, who was one of their main critics, and now they're going to be working together over the next in coming years to promote animal activities.
And is the Humane Society applauding these moves?
Yes, the Humane Society did a joint press conference just about half an hour ago, and they also released a video together showcasing this positive change.
Has there been a big social media response? How's the public responding?
Yeah, and so far the company said that in the last 10 months, this is the only day where there's been more positive feedback about the company on social media, on Twitter, than negative feedback.
That's fantastic. And how is it affecting the stock price? Because we know it's taken quite a dive.
Yeah, so on calls with investors, the investors seem pretty happy about this because this has been a huge, the company has lost a lot of executives in recent years, and this has been a big distraction. And now the company hopes to be able to move on from this and focus on just running the business.
Right.
The stock has been up today, and it looks like it's going to have a pretty good bump.
So did all of this see its genesis with that 2013 documentary Blackfish? Is that where all of this change is coming from?
Primarily. There was also an issue that started in the movie where a killer whale killed a human trainer.
Right.
And that was a huge public controversy at the time. And then when the movie came out, the documentary came out in 2013, there's been a slew of activists protesting the company since then.
Right. Attendance
has dropped, revenue has decreased. So since then the company has really been struggling. And they got a new CEO about 10 months ago. And since then, they have new executives, and they're trying to focus on figuring out what they're going to do now that their main attraction is not going to be there anymore.
Absolutely. Now we know it's a publicly owned company, so can we speculate that perhaps there's been pressure from investors to make some of these changes as well?
Yes. I mean, I heard from an analyst today, an analyst who covers the company, and saying that this is a big move, but a move that needed to happen because it just on every single. Apparently, some days there's protesters outside the company. People, especially millennials, are concerned about going to a company that they view as not humane. And the company said that they're going to be highlighting their marine rescue efforts. They spend about $10 million a year rescuing marine animals, and they want to showcase more of that work in their parks.
Austen, thank you so much. A lot of people happy to hear that news today. Thank you.